And many companies, they can have a big vision, but they don't have enough money to execute it.
If you invest in technology, it actually helps your business grow in other areas as well.
Exactly, and not with numbers.
Welcome back to Raw AI Solutions, the podcast where we explore how business leaders are navigating the fast-moving world of AI and digital transformation. I'm your host, Denise Powell, and today's guest is Diana Torres, the CEO and founder of KPI Global. Diana is a transformation leader driving large-scale change across government, telecoms, and global tech. Diana, we're delighted to have you here with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Denise, for inviting me to your podcast and to have this precious opportunity for us to talk about all the digital transformation and also an investment banking firm, no?
Excellent. Well, we're so glad that you're here. Would you mind kicking us off and telling the audience just a little bit about yourself and your company?
Sure. I'm a business administrator that I have more than 20 years of experience in corporate, most of it in finance matters. And I founded KPI like 5, 6 years ago. And now we are helping startups or even medium and big companies in the all financials matters that may arise. For example, we have customers here in Colombia, also in Mexico, and in US as well. So what we do is like we are like a CFO, but very strategic one, like fractional CFO, but we are so involved in our customers' business. So now even we are more focused in US, in Houston, in Texas right now, because there are a lot of companies that need a CFO, and as well they need to change to digital mindset because they don't have it. No, all the Latino or even American community, they don't have that mindset of AI. So what we do is to help them to growth and also to automatize some procedures that they have in financial matters.
Oh, fantastic. That's such a skill that's actually so needed, not only there, but also across Europe. Definitely. That's brilliant, brilliant place to be in. Um, Dana, can you tell us a bit about your journey? Like what led you to this space and how did you end up forming this company? What drew you to this area?
I saw the opportunity many years ago, even though I have another investment banking firm before KPI. I have a partnership, and during 4 years, we work a lot to just build that mindset that you as a business owner, you can find money or finance your company through investors, hedge funds, and all that kind of investment instruments that all the world has. Everybody doesn't know how you can get there. So that's why we start to just work with local and Colombian companies, and so that opportunity is there because as soon as you have an idea, you need to be funded. You need to fundraise money. So what we do is not also to be that CFO or fractional CFO, but also to just meet you with investors to know that how you present to them, how you structure your deck or your presentation, how you talk to them, all all about venture capital. So we saw that opportunity, and in Latin America it's a lot because we know that you need to build something strong. So we need more experience to build companies. So that's why we're helping locally and also in US all business owners that doesn't know how to escalate, how to get funded, how to be very, very clever with their finance. So that's what we do.
No, that's excellent. Yeah.
What we are building right now, and talking about AI, we're building a platform in which we want to connect investors with companies very easily. So we name it our product KPI Match, and we know we're going to launch KPI Match in US. We hope to do it on August. So you will see that KPI can solve many issues about fundraise, because we already done it one by one, not with technology. So the idea is to do it with technology, to say, okay, you can just connect with us, and through our platform, you can just meet people that is interested to invest in your company. So that's what we want to do during this year.
That is absolutely fantastic. I love that, connecting investors with companies, with customers. Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic. Well, thank you for that. Today's episode, we're going to be unpacking the hidden forces quietly derailing transformation success in 2025 and what leaders can do to actually stay ahead of the curve. Diana, you've led major change initiatives, both in the public and private sectors. But what's one common underestimated blocker that keeps popping up, regardless of industry?
Regarding industry, you really need to include technology in each one of the industry. No one, or non-business owner that doesn't have any kind of technology in their business model, they will be out. Yeah, because you really need to include, not only for your customers, also for your internal procedures, to bring productivity, efficiency. So that's why AI or even other technologies can help you. That you say, okay, we need to improve, for example, in our case, we need to improve how much match we can make during that week with investors and companies. So what we do is, through the platform, we know that we can help a lot of people. Yeah. And to escalate also their businesses, because through the platform you can meet a lot of people. Is That's why every business owner, no matter the size of the company, that doesn't have any technology mindset, you will be out of business. Yeah, because it's important to have it. So that's why also we are helping here in Colombia. We start with Colombia to see what's going on in US about technology, but we start in Colombia to create also for our customers, like prototypes of technology, so they can iterate in the market and say, okay, I have this solution, can you build it very cheap? Yeah. And quickly? Yeah. So we can do it and say, okay, we can help you with this. You can invest, you don't need to invest a lot of money in technology. We can try to make the things work out with no code platform. Yeah, because everybody is investing in code, but now the tendency is to create products and digital products with a low cost, and to iterate them in the market, so you can just risk a lot of money, and you say, okay, I can have this idea, I can build this idea very cheap and quickly, and let's launch this idea, and you iterate in the market and see if the people really buy it. Yeah, if the market is responding and say, okay, I like this solution or this technology, I like it. So that's the main mistake that everybody does, that they just include a lot of money, a lot of money in digital transformation, but when you see it, is really worth it? Uh, is really answering the pain, or uh, are you really solve something that someone on the market will respond to it? So that is the main question that we ask to our customers. No, you had an idea, but you risk it in an idea, everything. You risk money, you risk time. So first of all, you have to just analyze if that is the path, no, that is the way to just solve the pain.
No, that's brilliant. I think that old school of thought as well, where it's either you want something done fast, you want it done cheap, or you want it done well. You've got to pick two. And I think with AI, it's no longer the case. You can have all three.
Exactly, because AI can give you everything. And even though now is the competition between US and China, sorry to mention it, but it's the truth.
That's
So
true.
because China already have DeepSeek that is free, and you have Chat GPT that is not free. So you say, okay, which one of the systems runs better to just solve on train your AI? Ah, okay, this that's why you say, okay, what is next? Yeah, because in the technology field, you see that it's moving so fast that you just, if you just doesn't train or you don't include that AI in your business model, you just step behind. So
Absolutely.
that is so important. And now with everything, you can just be more productive. And even though it's not to replace people, because that is a fear that everybody is thinking, no, it will be replace our jobs, etc., etc. No, it will be potentialize your job because you will be more productive, and you can include, you can manage the time in more strategic tasks than operational ones. So that's how we see AI right now.
Couldn't agree with you more there. Um, Tell me something. We are seeing a lot of talk around digital first strategies, but what does digital first actually mean when it comes down to the tranches of transformation? And is there a gap between the vision versus the execution?
Oh, totally. Because you can have a vision, but when you try to execute the digital transformation, yeah, there is a lot of gap there. Because and we saw it with our customers, no, even internally in KPI, because we can have a vision, okay, we can do this, and you start to just be with your development team and say, no, we can do it because of this, or we can do it because of that. And what we saw is that many companies have that vision to integrate all of the tools of the systems, but it take a lot of time, it take a lot of effort and more money. So yeah, there is a gap. Yeah, so it's not that easy to just engage everyone in the vision and say, okay, because it's in each conversation that we have, we can have a company that tell us, I want this model, I want this feature, and this one and this one and this one, and they have it all. They want a super app, and you say, but if you want a super app, do you know what it takes to have a super app? And that's what is the vision is just getting is in the way is to be realistic. Yeah, in technology matters is to be realistic, because if you want a super app, you do you know what it takes to have a super app with everything? So the investment, the time, and many companies, and I'm talking about the companies that work for us, that work with us, sorry, they can have a big vision, but they don't have enough money to execute it. Yeah, so you say, no, you can have this budget, so we can do this with this budget. So yeah, it's a gap because technology
And
is
it all boils
not cheap.
down it all boils down to strategy at the end of the day. And I
Yeah.
think where companies really struggle is they know what they're used to, and
Hmm.
with AI, they don't know what the art of the possible is. And so when it comes to new technologies and integrating everything, I think in their minds they're still stuck with old school. These are the processes we had. This is the old legacy system, and they don't change their processes to go with the new technology, which can cut out so many processes, we can automate so much now that you don't need to stick with what is always done. You don't need to continue always doing that.
Exactly. That Denise, you are mentioning a very main point in this conversation, because as you mentioned, there is a gap. Yes, you can have all the vision in tech, yeah, but maybe your customer, or even in our case, our customers doesn't have it. So to show them that it is important to be in that part of the journey, is difficult to educate your customer and to say, "Yeah, it's important that you include it." And we saw it with companies, and it is really surprising that we saw it with companies in US that you think, hey, they have everything controlled under technology, and it's not. So you say, when you start to work with them, you say, you see this century and even this year, physical folders, and you say, but you can have an electronic folders, yeah, and then, so or even manual controls in one paper, and you say, no, I can't believe this. So you say you can have it all in a system, so you can control it. And we are very surprised that we found companies in US, in Texas, that are still in that kind of mindset,
Yeah.
because is because the leadership, that you say, okay, the leader doesn't have that tech mindset, but we can educate it, so we can improve their business. You can make more money, you can be more profitable, you can even escalate your business with technology. So yeah, it's really surprising that we saw that.
Yeah, I think technology gets so overlooked when it comes to organizations. Everyone's focused on revenue growth, customer acquisition, business development. But what they don't realize is that technology can support them, and that then it will free them up to focus their finances and their time on those revenue generating opportunities versus technology. But if you invest in technology, it actually helps your business grow in other areas as well.
Exactly, and not with numbers, Denise, because you can say to, we manage QuickBooks, that is the main accounting and finance software in US. QuickBooks, even this month, they improve all their user experience. I invite you to see it. Yes, as soon as we just log in, we saw, wow, they improve a lot in their design of the product. No, but what we saw is, you as a business owner, you don't have in real time what is going on with your business, because you QuickBooks is a really is approaching to that goal, but until now we haven't seen it in the market, that you can be in an app and see all your finance in real time. No, because it's difficult. You need an accountant. You need to see, hey, the banks, how it's going. Yes, you have money, yes, but your cash flow and your future and your strategy for finance, there is nothing like that. Yeah. So that is an opportunity, and everyone that is listening to us right now, Denise, there is a lot of opportunities in finance, on fintech, in finance matter, because there's a lot to do to improve finance, how can I say that, behavior of the business owner, because they don't have it. If you say to a business owner, and the one of the successful things that we saw for the big companies, as the CEO or the founders, they know exactly what is going on in their finances. They say, okay, we had a margin, we know how much we sell, we know everything about finance, and there is the pillars of their successful company, that you know what is happening with the money. Yeah. So that is our vision about that, finance, because fintech, there's a lot to do in fintech.
Absolutely. I'm so agree with you there. Can you tell me, in your view, how has the pressure to deliver like faster, leaner, smarter, how's it impacted the way organizations approach transformation? Do you think we're gaining speed, or do you think we're losing focus because there's so many shiny new toys?
I think that the organizations to have I mean, I think that is phases. There are like each company is a completely universe, is a different world. So the company to be in a transformation or digital transformation, they must first of all go in phases, like through phases. First phase, we really need it, is the first question that they might ask. Really need to be in digital transformation? How our business model will add value to our customers, to the market through technology. Second phase, okay, we need it. Yes, we need it. After analyze on diagnose, have a diagnosis of the digital transformation matter. And second phase would be, okay, let's execute it. How we can execute it? Yeah, I think that the companies that doesn't have a mindset in tech, they have to be, or they can hire someone that can be with them through the path. Yeah, to say, okay, you need it. Yes. How you need it? How add value? Because it's not to just create digital products as like a be, it's not for the reason to be in the tendency. No, it has a reason to be in your business, and each business is a word. So if you say yes, we need it, we add value. That is the important issue. We are adding value. We need it internally, externally, and if we need it externally, adding value to our customers, how we'll do it. So the company will be, and it's important that the second phase, that to be surround a lot of with a team of experts that can help the company just to go and take that risk, and take that invest because it's an investment. And
Yeah, yeah.
so, and to invest, so they say, okay, you can invest, you have this risk, this time, and you can solve this pain and adding value to your customer in this way. Yeah. That's why when you create an MVP or prototype, you need to research a lot around the business model before you just jump into investment, jump into have a development team to just say, hey, yes, AI is my answer. No, first of all, you have to analyze. And the second phase, it would be execute, to have your development team, or even to outsource the team, because to hire directly, that is more expensive. So what we also advise to our customers, you can hire an agency, you can hire even freelancers that can develop your solution, and you just jump in that path. You say, okay, business transformation, we will do digital transformation, you execute, and then you will see the result after you launch your digital product or your solution, or if you change all the procedures internally with one tool, because it's internal and external. So as a business owner, now the business owner need to have that mindset. Yes, it's a must to have that mindset of technology and say, okay, we need to improve our internal procedures, and we also need to have more customers through technology. Yeah. So I think it's both. It's both. And
You brought up a very interesting point there about working with third party partners or vendors and that.
yeah.
How do you go about selecting them, and what are the key things that you look for?
To have a third party involved,
Yeah.
it's not easy, because you need to know how to hire an agency, because I have that experience many years ago. I have the experience that I say, okay, I bring KPI match to life. I hire two agencies, and not one of them have any experience of create a digital product like I want it, like my vision. Yeah. So I say, I waste time, I waste money. And after that, I just solve it to just hire some freelancers and say, okay, I'm the project manager and I will be the lead of the product and I will want this, and that. And and one of the keys of that to just really to say, okay, this agency really works is to see previous experience, yeah, to see previous customers if they really launch good solutions, and the agency will share with you all the portfolio of the products. Yeah, that is one of the main keys to just build confidence through the third party and say, okay, we want you that you can help us to create the product. We can pay the agency, but you also, as a business owner, you can say, and you can even negotiate that you can share equity of your company if you're a startup. For example, if you are a startup, you can share part of your equity and say to that partner, hey, I will share the risk of my company with you. You create the product, we will be the businesses, and you can have a partnership with them. Yeah. Everything can be negotiated through technology. You can have that third party involved in your equity, or you can pay directly, so you don't have to just create the product. They gave you the product, and then you will see what you do with the product. Or also you can include your own team, yeah, to hire your own team, but it will be more expensive, and you already have to know something about technology, even the basics, but you know how to go with the vision and to lead the team that you hire. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I so agree with you there. So, when it comes to embedding change, is it leadership or communication or culture that tends to break the first? And then how do you actually track that breakdown?
Ooh, difficult question. Yeah, the communication is the main issue about a project to execute it successfully, a project, because if the team it doesn't is not cohesive to work and to talk about and even have uh, difficult conversations, maybe the project will be just stuck. Yeah. So it is important that the communication way or the communication will be led by the product manager. Yeah. And they just start to just download every single change or feature or everything through the project. That's why in communication matters now with technology, there's a lot of tools that can help us to communicate better, like Slack, Notion, Trello. So you can create your dashboard for your project there. All the team will be engaged to the project and the tasks that you mainly or daily reviews with the team. So the communication is the key that for the project. If it doesn't have any communication, the project will be just fail. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so
So
important for the communication
yes,
to get the
super
adoption.
important. Yeah. And how you manage? We manage through the Trello, Slack, meetings, daily meetings. Everyone is engaged and we are all connected through the goal, no? To just create the product. Hmm.
Yeah. And there's no excuse anymore for bad communication because there's so many products out there. So collaborative things, yeah.
Yeah, there's no boundaries. Even though we have some customers, for example, in our case, we have some customers that they require that we speak English, not even have an interpreter. No, they say, no, I don't want an interpreter for this. I just directly want that you speak English with us. So that is one issue that you might have during business matters, that you speak English or you can speak the language that your customer wants. But I think that now with all the technology, you can do it through the platforms. No, you already
Absolutely.
Google launched their tool that you're speaking, and they're just translating what you're saying. So yeah, there's no
Technology is just
boundaries right now.
amazing.
There's no excuse to not have any communication. Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. We hear a lot about data driven decisions. Okay. But from what you've seen, are organizations actually structured to act on their data, or is the data still trapped in silos, legacy systems, dashboards?
We are seeing at this moment, we are seeing also that the companies are struggle with dashboard, are struggle with data. They don't have a structured data, or they have, as I mentioned before, physical folders with the data. And you say you have to digitalize that data and say, okay, how we can catch that data and through AI just organize it. Yeah. So yes, there is a lot of struggle right now with data. We still see it. We still, what we are seeing is that the data is not used to make better decisions. Yeah, to do better, to just decide better. So what we're doing is, even in our consulting and our help to companies, is to see that, hey, you are seeing here that you are spending so much in this, or maybe you have this, and we see it in daily basis with finance. They don't even review their bank accounts in detail. So you say, okay, how you manage that? How you manage your data to be more profitable? To say, okay, my price is it's okay. I have a good pricing structure. Yes or no? No. Okay, let's build one. So yes, you see it all the time, and I think that the companies are still struggle with their data. That's why data now is gold. No, the data is gold right now. So that's why I think that yes, there are a struggle. So we need to focus more in structured data and to make less dashboard. For me, it's less dashboards. You can show dashboards, but to execute decisions, to be more in the executing matters. Yeah, to execute the things, to uh, take actions. So because you can have a lot of managers and you show the dashboard, and they don't do anything with that. They have the data, maybe they don't execute. So yeah, I think it's both. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I do think data is overlooked drastically. And what people need to realize is, unless the data is clean and in a good state, you can put AI on, you can put the best tool and the best AI on top of your system. But if your data is rubbish, you're just going to get rubbish out as well at the end of the day.
Exactly. And you mentioned something that we have a case. I just want to mention it. We had a company that built more than $1 million. They're nice in growth, but with a financial method, they don't even have, they have the system, but no one will input the data. And so if you want to take decisions on the finance that you have, it's just impossible. You have the QuickBooks and you have the system, but you don't have the procedures. So if you doesn't have any data, any input, how you will create any report? You can't. Yeah. And that's why this conversation about digital products are so important. You can create a Ferrari, but if you include a Ferrari with a maybe one engine that doesn't work, you just you fail. You will be failed. So That's why it is important that you can create the system, but everything, the data, the procedure, and even the result, everything is like everything is involved, is engaged, and it has to be, yeah, engaged. So
And what I ask a lot of people on the podcast is, um, if it's a choice between people, processes, or tools, where do we fall down the most? And the majority of people say processes. You've got to get your processes right, because then it can be exponentially put across every other area of the organization as well.
it's like an everything, no? It's a complete picture. You can have the technology, but if you don't have the procedures, you will fail. But if you have the
Absolutely.
procedures, the culture, the communication, and also the tool, you will be successful. Yeah, because you already connect everything and you organize everything.
So, looking ahead, what do you think will catch most transformation programs off guard? Do you think it will be leaders that are underestimating risk or overestimating the internal capability?
There is an issue about cybersecurity that
Mm,
is important because in the digital solutions, you can you can just grab, I will say very not so polite, grab data and say, okay, there is the data. But in the transmission, I think that there is a risk, and we are showing with hackers that the transmission of the data and how you include in your solutions that the login, that the terms and conditions of your digital solution will protect the data is a concern. And I think that, yes, you always have the risk. You can overestimate risk, but you always have the risk that the data will be just have a breach or have a hacker that just get the data. Yes,
absolutely. And I think it's underestimating that risk and underestimating cybersecurity.
because you always have the risk. Yes, always. Like in like in money, no investment. You have an investment, but you mitigate the risk. The issue is that how you mitigate the risk. Yeah. And most in data processing, no, how you mitigate that risk. You can, for example, in our case, we use Firebase data. We use Firebase as our main tool for data and to transmit data, to get data, to process data. So that's why you say, okay, which one of the providers of servers, connection, transmission of data are really confident? Yeah, Google, Amazon. I mean, you say, okay, which one you choose? I can tell you that many fintechs have Amazon tools. Yeah. And you say, okay, it's Amazon. But what happened if something happened to Amazon? Yeah. You say, no, re, re, the risk is minor because it's Amazon, but you say, how what is behind, yeah, Amazon to say that is really secure to all the data, how they have the protocols, how is the cyber security protocol in each one of the servers. Yeah, it's something that you can mitigate.
So, listen, as you look forward to the next stage of growth for KPI Global, um, I'd love to just zoom out a moment. Where would you like your business to be in the next like 6 to 12 months?
I like that my business in 12 months. We have a lot of companies in US, yeah, that we can help through fundraising, and our solution will be up and running and even including more features. Yeah, that is our one of the vision. And the other vision, we have to create the fractional CFO but with technology and AI. Yeah, we are discussing this, that each one of our companies or our customers can have that AI assistant, but in financial matters that say, okay, how is my profit during this month? Response. the expenses that I have during June, the expenses, everything through the AI. We train that AI so our companies can just have the answers in the chat. You have your assistants there. Yeah.
Exactly, the AI agents helping you out there. That's a great goal where you want to be in the 12 months. Yeah. And right now, what is the biggest challenging that you're facing?
Now launch KPI match. We are in the test phase. Yeah, because we even share our test with some of their customers, and there's a lot of things that we have to adjust before we launch. Yeah.
Wow. Well, good luck with that. I'd love to see where that goes in
Yeah.
the future. You're definitely going
Yeah.
places. If you could solve one issue today, any issue, at like a snap of a finger, what would it be?
Oy. To have valuation of companies like this, because we also have valuations of companies. There is more complex issues, no, to evaluate a company. To have valuation like this, so we can move faster in business. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure somewhere out there there's an AI tool for that too.
No, we already taught because the solution, there is a solution in the market, but they are so expensive, and we say, okay, we can buy them, but it's expensive. So how we can have evaluation just like this, like a click at the bottom? Yeah,
It doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I agree. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, Dana, thank you so much for such a sharp, grounded overview into what's really happening inside transformation programs today and take us through your company's going. But
Thank you, Denise.
before we wrap up, if there's one piece of advice that you'd give to any other transformation leader trying to succeed in 2025, what would that be?
Choose very wisely the pain that you're solving.
That's some great advice there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And finally,
To
if listeners
success.
want
Yeah.
to if listeners want to know more about KPI Global or connect with you, where's the best place to reach you?
You can find KPI at a website, www.kpiglobalus.com, or you can find me, Diana Torres, through LinkedIn. My complete name, Diana Patricia Torres. You can find me there. Always connecting through LinkedIn, or find our social media, KPI Global LLC, at Instagram, Facebook, and through LinkedIn.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Diana. Really appreciate you. And thank you for joining us on this podcast.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you so much for this invitation.